What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today starts Season 3 Reloaded for Call of Duty Warzone 2 and Modern Warfare 2. I'm actually really looking forward to this update, and we have a few things to talk about. Now, there are the obvious stuff. We're getting a new event stuff. We're getting a new map, as you see here. These things are pretty, whatever, cool. So, let's talk about some of the stuff when it comes to the game itself and how things are feeling. Now, there does seem to be some changes to movement and damage feedback visibility. So visibility is more of a HUD stuff. So they are talking about how they cleared out the center of the red HUD overlay, reduced overall alpha of the red HUD overlay, and reduced saturation of vision, set flash, reduce distortion amount, reduce handheld camera noise on bullet damage. All this should make you see what's going on when you get wounded and things like that. I know sometimes in Call of Duty, when you get wounded, the red gets very oppressive, and yeah. Now, movement is honestly another one I'm pretty surprised about. We're getting more updates. Again, I don't expect much with these changes, but it should feel slightly better or smoother based on what you're designing with the movement. So camera movement while shaking and sprinting has been reduced. Weapon raise delay following parachute landing decreased by 30%. This honestly is, in my opinion, should be pretty cool. Initial sliding acceleration increased by 60%. We'll see how that feels. And the height threshold for single-handed mantling has been increased, allowing for more aggressive traversal. All this stuff seems pretty good, but we have to wait and see when this update goes live and how it actually feels. Now, weapons, I feel like a complete dumbass. We're getting 2 new hand cannons. I thought it was an SMG and a fully automatic deagle, but yeah, the F-Tac Siege handgun is a fully automatic. It should potentially be an issue with how you want to play Warzone 2. Let's see how that goes. It could be a highly regarded close quarter weapon, and then a fully automatic deagle. I don't know how this is gonna go. This can get insane, but here we are talking about fully automatic deagles. There is new equipment, throwing star, weapon balancing. This is honestly intriguing. First raise is pretty interesting. The delay between first equipping a weapon and being able to fire has been decreased across numerous weapons. They'll talk about that in some of the patch notes. Quick raise and quick drop speeds have been uniformly increased, allowing for more rapid deployment of equipment, which is further improved by fast hands. I love fast hands, and I should probably love fast hands even more. Honestly, one of the reasons I was using it was just because of that. Now, they added kind of armor damage or got a little bit more in detail with it. We'll be seeing that a lot with the weapon changes. So maximum armor damage values have been added to all assault rifles, battle rifles, submachine guns, and light machine guns. These values will assist in slowing down the close range time to kill. Minimum armor damage has been adjusted or added to several weapons to increase their viability at longer ranges. See weapon changes below for more details. Now, when it comes to handguns, we see that they've added minimum damage, armor damage to these weapons selectively. Now, the submachine guns, the Boss P has seen a little bit of a buff. So they increased the ADS speed, they reduced the headshot multiplier, they increased the maximum damage, and increased the range for maximum damage. Mid-far damage has been increased, as well as mid-far damage range has been increased. The minimum armor damage has also been added. Minimum damage increase, minimum damage range increase, and reduced first raise animation time. So the Boss P could get even better. Honestly, was really liking this SMG collectively, but maybe I'll like it even more. Lockman subs saw a little bit of kind of a burst fire buff. Mini Bach, minimum armor damage increase. I don't know. This gun sucks. I hate it. The MX9 also got a minimum armor damage added. The Vaznev saw a overall damage range decrease. So maximum damage range has been decreased. Let's see how that goes. Now, the Chimera, a solid weapon I've been personally loving. Semi-auto minimum armor damage has been added, and then they've reduced the first range animation time. I guess let's see how that plays out. It's pretty fast. Whatever, make it better. Cool. ISO Hemlock seems a little bit of a nerf. So the maximum damage has been decreased, the mid damage has been decreased, minimum damage has been decreased, lower torso multiplier has been increased, and extremities multipliers have been decreased. The cast off 45 or 545, don't know why I said 45. Close mid-range damage has been decreased, mid damage range has been decreased, and minimal armor damage has been added. A little bit of a weird little nerf, I guess it sounds like. I wasn't really using this gun, but I guess it was a thing. The cast off 762 extremity multipliers have been decreased, and then they also added semi-minimum armor damage. The cast off 74 minimal armor damage added, pretty self-explanatory. The Lockman 556. This is a gun that is really good in my opinion. Not in crazy, but really solid to use for those players who are looking for a low recoil, long range weapon, and they seemingly buffed it. So the close mid damage has been increased. Maximum damage range has been increased. Mid damage range has been added. They've also added a minimum armor damage. Semi-auto has been also added when it comes to the minimum armor damage, and the upper torso multiplier has been increased. So this should be a very curious buff. M16 saw more buffs, or at least a chance for the burst meta to take place. So the close mid damage range has been increased, maximum damage range has been increased, the obviously minimal armor damage has been added, and then the cooldown between bursts has been decreased. So the M16 hopefully should feel solid, maybe hopefully not like the tactical rifles from Warzone 1 when it was wild, but we'll see how things play out there. M4, really just nothing's crazy. The M13B, more buffs. I was using this yesterday. It was amazing, and it seemingly got better. So the ADS speed has been increased slightly. Damage ranges has been increased. Hit spread accuracy increased slightly. And then obviously the usual minimum armor damage has been added. And the TAC 56 saw a little bit of a nerf. We don't know specifically what, but the maximum damage range has been decreased. Battle rifles. Let's see how these things play out. I mean, I guess FTAC, again, the usual stuff. Same thing with the Lockman. They've added these damage stuff to those. The SO14, they've increased some of the multipliers for maximum damage and lower torso. So yeah, the TAC V, same thing with the usual stuff. Now, the shotguns, this could be a little bit scary. So the Bison 800 mid damage has been increased. The Bryson 890 mid damage has been increased. The Lockwood 300, the usual stuff. Those two pumps, or I think one's a pump, one's a semi-auto. Let's see how things play out. Shotguns could be a viable option in Warzone 2. Light machine guns, they've just animation stuff and minimum armor damage. Now, attachments, explosive bullets have bullet velocity has been decreased. That's a little bit unfortunate. Let's see how much. Hopefully not too much. Snake shot tuning has been enabled. Oh, okay. And then for blackouts, they've added maximum armor damage. Laser visibility decreased. That's honestly good. They were a little bit too crazy. And then, you know, some of the stuff blocking other barrels and things like that. Magazines, the Fennec double tap mod has been buffed in a way. Let's see how that goes. And then the STB 556 has been collectively just cooldown time between shots. Now, there are magazine adjustments here. These are described as the magazine adjustments below apply to all attachments depending on whether they are larger or smaller relative to the weapon's base magazine capacity. These changes will mean an on average larger capacity mags are considerably less punitive, and smaller capacity magazines offer sustainably more upside. So large magazines ADS penalty has been decreased. Movement speed penalties have been decreased. So if you're rocking a larger magazine based on the stock value of that weapon's magazine size, ADS should feel better and movement should feel better. And then for smaller magazines, if you want to go a little bit crazy, reduce your ammo count, you will be getting a lot more benefits with ADS, movement speed, and sprint to fire times, which I think is great. We got some muzzle changes in terms of lock shot KT85, horizontal recoil control, and vertical recoil control has also one's been decreased, one's been increased. So let's see how that plays out. So I'm sliding this at some point in the video. This is honestly one of the most important parts, and deals with buy stations and just the overall battle royale resurgence modes and things that are changing here. So buy stations, buy station inventories have been adjusted to provide players with an expected static list of purchasable items. A new perk packs tab has been added to the buy station with unlimited stock. So perk packs are 3,500. I think this is something to do with getting perks that you don't have to get through a loadout, which I think is great. Unlimited gear items. So these are stuff that will have unlimited gear. You can always get these armor plates, gas mask, armor boxes, munitions boxes, UAVs. UAVs cost a bit increased to 6,000 from 4,000 because obviously now they're unlimited. And mortar strikes are 4,000. Precision strikes are 6,000. Loadout markers are 20,000. Now limited gear will be to these items: counter UAVs, cluster mines, self-revives, and durable gas mask. We've heard the feedback that players want more reliability on the context of what is in a buy station, as well as how much stock there is of each of them. We agreed with this feedback, but we'll continue to monitor this as pricing adjustments for future seasonal updates. This is a really important part that honestly, I can't believe we missed. Now, kill streaks, cluster mines, armor damage decrease. I hope that is enough, because yeah, that was annoying, but besides that, there was just a lot of audio changes or fixes, whatever you want to consider it. Some UI stuff, some bug fixes, PC, things like that. But let's see how things play out. Honestly, I think so far that this has been a very intriguing update. It's a little bit more than I thought we'll get from the the overall update we're used to seeing reloaded in Warzone 2. But the only other stuff I should probably talk about is this big one with Almaraz. A sandstorm spotted on the outskirts of Almaraz is heading towards Almaraz City. Operators should expect reduced visibility in the area. Now, this should be interesting. Hopefully this isn't too crazy, but honestly, I like the idea of using a sandstorm to allow players to cut the distance and get a little bit more aggressive with each other. This could be something that's really cool. Maybe it's annoying. Who knows? Only time will tell. And then they've made some adjustments to UAVs. This is honestly a pretty big one. If UAV pings will not only emit from the player who activated the kill streak, if the player who activated the kill streak is killed, the UAV will finish. Using 3 UAVs will still upgrade the signal into an advanced UAV. So, yeah, that's intriguing. Let's see how that plays out. It's a subtle way to nerf the UAV. I think it's all fine, all dandy, things like that. Now, with UAVs now being available in all buy stations, we wanted to better balance their power so that they are equally balanced for solos as they are through quads. We felt that, like all kill streaks, a kill streak should come from the player who calls it in. So when players hear enemy UAV overhead, they know that the total radius covered is off a fixed known quantity across all modes, which I think is a solid update. Mortar strikes, the amount of missiles dropped during mortar strike has been decreased by 25%, so expect maybe a less volley. That should be intriguing. Disable the ability to ping enemies through smoke or water. God damn it, I like that. And they added more buy stations across Ashiki Island. And then, yeah, I mean, there is some stuff that I don't think I really need to talk about. They talk about playlists, they have stuff here, but collectively, guys, I think that I think it's a solid update. I like what we saw, I like what I read, I like what I said. Hopefully things play out. I'm liking the direction Warzone 2 is going. I collectively am perfectly fine with the experience. I'm having fun. I know people want other changes, which is perfectly fine to them. I'm having a good time, which is all I can ask for, but hopefully things trend in the right direction, more quality of life changes, more pace of play updates, stuff like that, making this game a solid experience and as best it can be. But let me know your thoughts down below on these patch notes. I should probably have a couple videos out with some of the new weapons, highlighting how hilarious they are, how wild they are, whatever it is, things like that. But drop a comment down below if you want. If you guys enjoy, found this video informative, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a ton. And if you guys want more content from me, definitely be sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell to be notified for when I drop more content if you guys are not yet subscribed. With that being said, hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.